It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was his. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so, by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceed. Every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh so gently, and then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I thrust in my head. Oh, you will have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see the old man as he lay upon his bed. I undid the lantern cautiously. A single dim ray fell upon the vulture's eye, but I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, when the day broke, I went boldly into his chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he has passed the night. So you see, he will have been a very profound old man indeed, to suspect that every night, just at 12, I look in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. I watched his minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never, before that night, had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph, to think that there I was opening the door, little by little, and the old man not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps the old man heard me, for he moved in the bed suddenly, as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no, I kept moving it steadily. I had got my head in, and was about to open the lantern, when my thumb slipped upon, and I fell everything that was on my coat. The old man sprang up crying, "Who's there?" I kept quite still and said nothing for another hour. I did not move a muscle. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing the old man lie down, I decided to light up my lamp. Until at length a simple dim ray like the thread of a spider shot from out my lamp and fell upon the vulture's eyes. It was open, wide open. In an instant I dragged him to the floor, and then pulled the heavy bed over him, sat upon the bed, and smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. I would hastily burn silence. First of all I dismembered the corpse. I cut the head and the limbs. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I had been too worried for that. A dog had cut. Then I took up 3 planks from the floor and hid the body between the scantlings. There came a doorbell at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart, for what had I now to fear? They entered, who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicious of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled, but what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them to search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure, undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room, and desired them here to rest for their fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. But ere long, I felt myself getting pale, and wished them gone. My head ached, and I felt a ringing in my ears, but still they sat and still chat. The ringing became more distinct, until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. But the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observation of them. And still the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. But the noise arose over all and continually increased. It grew louder. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had sat, and grated it upon the boards. Almighty God, no, no! They heard! They knew! They were making mockery of my horror! Chan chan!